spectacular Southern California. The surf, sand, and sensational memories of a visit to an unforgettable destination. And an ideal location for some of the best young athletes in North America to unite. The premier girls Fastpitch National Championship in Irvine, California is an unmatched test of skill, teamwork, and perseverance. For nearly a decade, the best softball players in the world have gathered in this beautiful place and battled for the true national championship. The PGF 16U Premier National Championship is next. In beautiful Irvine, California, the most talented 16U players in the nation. Athletcis Mercado out of Southern California and the Birmingham Bolts, both perfect, playing their way into this, a true championship, and certainly memories to be made for all time. All of these athletes headed to a high level of college softball. Hi there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. Bill Barber Stadium, Olympic gold medalist, UCLA All-American Amanda Freed. My name is Darren Sutton. Thanks for spending time with us. Here's what's exciting about PGF and its evolution. You have one team, a true team from Southern Cal that has branched off from another and is growing and is in a title game. Then you have a team from Birmingham, Alabama. Not California, from Alabama. The diversity in this event now border to border, and it's fun to see.
I think that's the best part about this event is it used to be so regionalized, but now the talent is spread wide across the country, and we're seeing it represented in a huge way here on this platform, this championship, and it's so much fun to see a representative from California, a representative from Alabama going head-to-head for this title.
Good stuff, Amanda. Excited for your insights. Beecher is committed to Colorado State, Oklahoma for Waitman, Minnesota for Kinch, Oklahoma Kristen for Dunkel, San Diego State for Jordan. We'll tell you about all these athletes as they hit. And in this circle, Shelby Lowe goes to work. Lowe, so very talented, excited to get to know her as we introduce her to you. Shannon Bustamante will be in the circle on the other side, but Lowe in the circle now, and certainly Auburn University, her desired destination, and excited to get going. Play this 16U title game. We held them up for a minute while we introduced you. I can imagine how those butterflies are going wild down in the diamond now. And away we go. Allison Beecher, Colorado State commit, Norco High, where she just comes off a CIF champion. And for those of you around the country, that is the same as saying a state championship here, as large as California is. Think about that. 2 CIF championship games, and now here in the PGF champion. Allison Beecher, you have handled pressure. 3-0 the count. Speedy can make some great plays in the outfield as well, and Beecher takes a strike. Infield tight for the Birmingham Bolts. Athletcis Mercado black in their uniforms, the bright gold and purple, the Birmingham Bolts. Keith Dorsett is their head coach. David Mercado, who runs A's Mercado, also coaches this 16U team. All right, Jessica Costa, now your chance as we get to know you. Left-handed batter, middle of the box. And she takes a pitch that misses up and away. 1-0 the count, Jessica. Central Union High School, Ole Miss commit. And a national champion celebrating this in 2015 at the 12U level. She slaps and rolls that one foul. This A's Mercado program in 16 won it all, 14U. Won it all in 14 at 12U, and then at 12U in 2013 as David Mercado, in a peaceful way, everything was very peaceful, but built his own athletics program, and certainly a lot of dedication, he and wife Jill, to this sport. Danica, her daughter, just completed a great career at Oregon. Mo completed her career, his daughter, at Arizona. As that one misses up, I'm not sure when Mo's career, if will ever end.
I know.
Representing USA Baseball. But it's about these players currently. 2-2 the count on Jessica Costa. Kathy is mom, Chris is dad. What will we see with Lowe?
Well, you can see her, she's a spinner. She's coming from that left side with a nice curveball, but she's also got a very good rise ball. That's her go-to pitch. She's a quick worker out there in the circle. I wasn't aware of how quickly she gets on there and she delivers this pitch, but she gets on top of you.
Blows it right by, looking for 2 quick outs. Bang! Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Beautiful throw right on top of the bag. What a throw by Hannah Borden. And that's how you start things defensively.
That's such good concentration to receive that strikeout and then throw a strike down to second base. Look at the catch, the transfer, and then a strike down to second.
Another left-handed hitter, lefty against lefty here. Over the outside, Alex Waitman takes strike 1.
Here's a look at this throw after the strikeout, right on the money. If it's not perfect, it's not an out.
Tried to frame that one up. Borden really working already behind home plate. Waitman committed to Oklahoma. You can see that logo on her sleeve. That one is fouled off the screen. I'm going to tell you this, that's unique, Amanda, and I think that's a great touch. If you have made that verbal and that's how you want to represent underneath that black jersey, unique. How do programs separate themselves from others? That's a way. Huge drop curve disappearing away. Tough on lefties, my goodness. Shelby Lowe, that's how you start things. You got some defense too that helped you out. 16U national title game.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
No matter the age of the girls I train, you can always tell the ones that may go far. It's in their eyes. It's in their focus. They know it doesn't need to be pretty or perfect. Growth will come. You can see when they own that. When they decide that getting better is more important than their fear of failing. That's when their game changes. That's when everything changes. That's when these girls become unstoppable.
Carly McConaughey is at the top of the order. Miss State commit, St. Clair from behind. Hudson the first 3. It's Borden, Taylor, Kennedy. Majors, great story with Allison Greed and Cassidy Wilcox. Shelby Lowe duels Shannon Welch Bustamante. Temecula Valley High School in Southern California. Loyola Marymount University is where she desires to play softball, and you'll tell us more how she gets people out.
And she likes to work ahead, so we'll see that here early in the game with some good spins. And she also has a great rise ball that she will use for her go-to.
Spins that screwball outside. This is Carly Mondashi. Gardendale High School, her desired school is Auburn. She'd hope to play for a great SEC program when she is all said and done. There's some deep stories, some touching stories, some heartbreaking stories within this group from Alabama, certainly. And it's not just Alabama, players from Georgia and from around the South. This is a program that truly represents the South. As that one dives away, spin, 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 but that one missed. from Bustamante. Dad is Israel, mom is Amber. They both played diamond sports in high school, baseball and softball. Talking about the pitcher Bustamante, driven into right center field. It's down. Mondashi hustling on around into second with the double.
This Bolts team is powerful. Makondashi, look at that, follows through with that 3/4 of a swing, but just squares up beautifully, drives it into right center field. A good job of leading off for her team.
And now Briley St. Clair takes a pitch just off the plate. Bolt over the outside corner, though, to the Bolts. Sandrock High School, Mississippi State commit. '19 grad. She's heading into her senior year. So a bunch out front of her. Another great year, the final national championship game here in Southern California. Framed up, Sarah Kinch, the catcher, does a nice job. Briley, who inspires you, we asked. Bryce Harper, makes sense. He can play, he can hit. She says something else, though, as that one sails high. She says, and I quote, because he's, all caps, good looking. And he hits bombs. That's all in one, right?
I mean, why not? You know?
Riley St. Clair. He plays with a lot of energy, too. I'll tell you that right now. There's that energy going to first. St. Clair. Career Community Leaders of America, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, completely involved at Sandrock High School. And she's on. Caroline Hudson, Henry County High School. She's a Liberty commit. Ginny is mom, John is dad. That one is low, 1-0 the count.
Liberty's definitely an up-and-coming program. Made it to the regionals this last year under Dot Richardson's leadership. Gold medalist. That stadium, I don't know if you've ever been to that stadium.
I have not.
It is gorgeous. I don't think I've ever seen a stadium like it.
Quick conversation and a visit from head man David Mercado. Athletcis, Mercado, and the relationship for so long with the previously known SoCal Athletics, breaking off from Bruce Richardson as they had their own journeys as well, but in a very positive way. In this beautiful ballpark. Just more opportunities for athletes. 1-1 the count. Started that outside, screwball right down the middle. Bouncing ball, one step out of the circle, turning and firing and getting Caroline Hudson, who kills it in the classroom, by the way. Her junior year, top 10 in her class with a 4.0 and a 30 on the ACT. That's right, Amanda, I said that number.
That's not the only number you showed me, so.
I've got one for you a little
Jeez
later.
Louise.
I've got a number for you that's gonna, you academics out there, you aspirational folks, I've got someone for you to chase. Not yet. Not that Hannah Borden hasn't been an amazing student as well. Southern Miss, her aspirational school, Hewitt-Trussville High School in Alabama. Mom is Ruth, dad is Craig. All-state first team in the state of Alabama. National Honor Society member. She's got a couple of runs out there waiting on her. This won't do it. To the right side, Acosta looks up into that sun and puts it away. Beecher, Benson, Jordan, Dunkel, Waitman, Acosta. You saw Jess make that play a moment ago. Trochet is at first and Kinch behind the plate. E.C. Taylor, University of Florida, is her commitment out of Cordova, Tennessee. That screwball jumps outside, 1-0 the count. All-state performer in the state of Tennessee. Couple of steps in on the corners. Outfield straight, middle of the infield straight. 2-0 the count.
And with runners in scoring position, this is really the kind of hitter that you love to have up is this triple threat. Because you have to protect the small stuff. Her job is also to get on base, and anything small in front of these defenders could score a run. But she also can open up for some power.
When you look defensively, and they just showed it a moment ago, I think you make such a great point as we walk on into this beautiful ballpark. Is with that speed, there is a drag bunt, a slap waiting to happen. They're back on the corners. And that first run is standing there, not to discourage a pure piece of hitting for EC. Emma Claire. And she'll take a walk. So Bustamante with a very busy inning. This is Madison Kennedy. Macon, Georgia, Macon East Academy, Mississippi State University commit. That one's up and away. That's where she likes it. Drop it down to about belt high, and she is completely comfortable. Right center field with good power.
And that right center field gap is pretty wide. It looks like Jordan out there in right, shaded toward the right field line.
Instead, lined in the left center field. One run is in. Another Bolt hurries on around. A two-run, two-out RBI single for Madison Kennedy. What a start for the offense as it wakes up right away for the Bolts.
And every coach coming into this game tells you it's about getting runners on base, but then coming through with the clutch hits. And this was great timing by Kennedy. She goes left center field to a wide open outfield, scoring those first two runs.
Maddie Majors is an Auburn commit. She takes up and away, 1-0 the count. She's at home with mom Julie, dad Greg, and younger brother Jake. This is another speed player that they're playing back on the corners. Good changeup, 1-1.
There's quite a few hitters in this lineup that have the ability not only to hit for power, but to drop the short game. So those corners have really got to stay on their toes and be prepared to move.
Right in on the hands, popped up right side, but the Birmingham Bolts get it going. They strike first. 2 runs in the bottom half of the first at the 16U Premier PGF National Championship game. Alabama strong.
You're running around my head.
What a gorgeous day in Southern California, the West Coast. With all due respect, the best coast, and a wonderful place to not only visit, bring family, vacation, destination, and include elite softball. Ainsley Furbush, her Reminds us that even though they might want to say Ainsley, it's Ansley. She was sharing that yesterday. Winter Springs High School, Ole Miss commit. As that one misses outside. Old number 99 is what we like to call her. Jumps into the hole, 1-2 the count.
Looks like something taken off that pitch a little. Change up or maybe just a little off speed, but not expected.
Jumps up and out of there, and the young talented athlete who is out of Florida but yet plays for this Mercado team goes down on strikes.
And the pitches prior set up this rise ball, and this pitch is so effective because it starts at the number below the chest and makes its way up to the chin.
Back to the screen it goes. Sarah Kinch works behind the plate. Committed to the University of Minnesota to play in the Big Ten. Mom is Darla, dad is Gary. She's got 3 siblings at home as well. See that Gophers logo on her right sleeve as she digs back into the box. 1-1 the count. No doubt about it. Started that a little bit off the outside corner. It split the plate. Up in the zone. Great attempt. Ooh, up against that wall. Everyone hopefully okay there. Anna just not afraid. Some scrapes and scratches out there. Comes back with a smile on her face. Brings some clay back with her.
A pitch up and in tight on the hands. Nearly forced that fly ball.
To the right side, trickles away if only for a moment. Right back to the bag though, Majors. And McConda, she worked well with her. No time to hang your head, turns out to be a 1, or I should say a 3-4-3 out if you're scoring. Caitlin Dunkel. Love to go to Oklahoma Christian University. Her desired college, Valley Central High School. And this is her first ever nationals experience. Up against that gate there. Christy is mom, Bill is dad. When talking about her sister Brianna and Brittany, they're older. But then there's little Jakey, who's 4. She simply said, I just love my siblings. I love them so much. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Let's be real. When you get to this point in your athletic career, it's a full family effort.
Yep.
You know, everybody takes a hit for each other. Parents traveling, sacrifices made all around.
And there are times, not always, because you can maybe make it work, but there are times when one sibling's vacation is to go see another sibling play a sport. Popped up, right center field. Closing the gap very quickly is E.C. Taylor, and she puts it away. Nice clean inning that time for the pride of Pickens Academy, Shelby Lowe.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, to be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
What makes a Thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way, for themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
Long shadows drifting across this field, and chance for Allison Greet and the Thunderbolts to get ready and go to work. This talented athlete and student who is committed to go to West Point and play softball. She takes over the outside corner. Small ball, long ball, good range in the outfield. And Allison pitches as well. The daughter of Tiffany and Bobby. In this 2-0 game. Lifts that one into left field, and that one is put away. We'll tell you a little bit more about her exploits throughout this game because the classroom is certainly special. Well, when you talk to a lot of these Bolts teammates about who inspires them, they say this athlete right here, Cassidy Wilcox, and they say her sister Alex, her late sister Alex. Her sister Alex, who recently passed away, who played such an amazing brand of softball at Mississippi State and through this program as well. And so you have the family of athletes, because you know what a family of athletes looks like, Amanda. You've lived it more than even I have. Rally around this young lady, and so Cassidy Wilcox, with a heavy heart, certainly comes back to this family as she recently lost her sister.
Yeah, and I think Alex Wilcox was absolutely a member of this family as well. She came through the organization and continued to give back, and the family is a very important piece to this family. And so her loss has been felt not only within this organization, but really nationwide because of the person that she was and how brave that she was throughout.
So life lessons that no parent or athlete ever signs up to want to be a part of, either the actual family who goes through that pain, which I can't relate to, can't understand it. But Sean and Leanne, dad and mom. And so her legacy certainly lives on through this team and through her play, and the way she's a great teammate. Maconda, she takes up and away. Carly got things started right. She doubled and scored in the first inning. All-state performer. In this 2-0 game, Screwball disappears outside. Bustamante has a defense straight up behind her, a couple of steps in on the infield. This is a triple threat hitter. Reaches out and rolls a ground ball to short. Hanging around that bag long enough and staying there. In time for the out. We move along. 2-0 in this 16U national title game. Opening ceremonies forever in your mind. They were great on stage, such energy to open things up. And energy throughout the week, starting there in Huntington Beach, California, and great softball all throughout the week. Those Tapua Polynesian dancers, the legends appearing as well, like Jenny Finch. And away we go. Time to get started offensively, and that's exactly what happened. San Diego State commit, Michaela Jordan with a base hit. Vista Marietta High School.
And she just squared up on that pitch. That was the same pitch that we'd seen last inning that was flared off to the right side of the field, but that time, just squared it right up.
Ali Trochet, pitch away, popped up right side into foul territory. Nice play, though, by McConaughey. Didn't miss a beat.
Next up, center fielder, number 42, Malia Benson.
Malia Benson, Riverside Poly. Marina is mom and David is dad. As that curveball runs away. Benson, by the way, interesting friendship. Goes through life and travel sports and softball and such. And she waves through that one. Is hitting right now against one of her best friends. She was telling us that they have bumped into one another and spent time together, and Shelby has become one of her best friends. World gets very small in sports. Drops down a bunch. She's going to make her buddy make a play. Her buddy just made a nice play.
That is so hard to pitch against a good friend like that and not want to crack a smile. And then have her put it right back at you and make the play to get her out. But this was a good job of fielding position and getting the speedy Benson out.
Yep, that's it. She's blocked on Snapchat. No more friendship. Unfollowed. Nice play. Allison Beecher. Chokes up on the bat. It's that one batting glove. Golf, you always see it. Softball, diamond sport, you rarely see it, just one batting glove. Legendary singers in the 80s, you did see it at least once. Slaps it through. Kind of like a smooth criminal with that piece of hitting. Allison Beecher. Well, it's you know, one of those days. You get a little punchy later in the day. The truck, everyone, we're all having fun. Beecher's been on twice.
And she's so calm and quiet at the plate, runs through and just barrels up. Good angle on her bat. She knows where she wants to put it. She just places it in the left field.
Back to the screen it goes. No balls and one strike count on Jessica Acosta. Sister Danica can play as well. She's only 12 years old, but an elite player in that 2024 class. Bouncing ball, bobbled, safe. Interesting twist to that play as the first run scores for Athletcis Mercado. It was when McConaughey reached out for that softball that was kind of floating on its own. You've got to wonder if she grabbed it on her own, would she have gotten it out? Which would have been a force, which would have canceled that run.
Yeah, it just goes up the middle, takes that last second hop up. This looks like a routine ball right up the middle, fed perfectly. You could see that hop at the very end that jumps up off of her glove. And it's tough because you head up the middle and that's right around in that area where those runners on second base are leading off. They're jumping out, planting, going back, jumping off, planting, going back, and so it tends to dig up the dirt a little.
Big strikeout, but a single run crosses the plate. A couple of key hits by Jordan and Beecher. Middle of the third we go, the 16U PGF national title game.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
A building is only as strong as the foundation it's built upon. That's why family-owned Morris Shea has been providing deep foundation and earth retention systems throughout the United States and the Caribbean since 1969. From heavy industrial projects to bridges, schools, sports stadiums, and government buildings, we have the technical expertise to handle even the most geologically and environmentally challenging sites. Because at Morris Shea, we know there's nothing more important than a strong foundation. Visit us at morrisshea.com to see how we can help support your next project.
What makes a Thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way. For themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
Another week to celebrate, and the president and CEO of PGF, Dan Hay, sneaks by the broadcast booth, if only for a few moments in this busy game. And, you know, you and I have been talking, and Amanda, throughout the day of this day of celebration, when your staff gets to exhale over the next few days, and the volunteers, too, the families that help make this happen. So as you look back on year number 9, next year's 10, that's exciting. What are some of the high points for you as you think about this, the 9th year of the PGF championship?
I think the highest point is the growth. Every year we seem to do it better, and that's a direct result of the great staff that I have. These people right now that are still hanging with us, they're basically walking around with their eyes open, but they're asleep. You know.
Right.
But what makes us unique is the majority of the championships in this country are week-long championships, and this is a 2-week process. The first week we'll have 3 age groups come in. With, I think it was 5 championship games we did. Then that group leaves, and another 270 teams come in for another 4 age groups. So it's a long, grueling process.
You know, the one thing we were just showing the video earlier with Forever in Your Mind, and then the great dancers at the beginning, and the softball legends that played the game like Amanda did, interacting with these players. Is PGF just a little bit different than others in the sense of you make it experiential? The softball's amazing, but you want it for the families, the siblings to be experiential, right?
No doubt about it. When these parents leave this event, we want them the day they go home to be talking about PGF for the entire year, because they can't wait to come back again next summer. And I think we've accomplished that.
Dan Hay, the president and CEO of Premier Girls Fastpitch, joining us as Briley St. Clair draws a walk. This is a number of sports, so give us a few pure numbers. The amount of teams, when you kind of first started this event a long, long time ago, the amount that you've had maybe over the last few years, and now what you expect in the future, including this year.
Yeah, in 2010 when we started, we had 2 age groups, and I believe we were around 116 teams total. Last year we were at 450 teams. This year I believe we're a little under 550.
Wow.
And next year I believe we'll be a little under 700 teams.
So how does one, and it's far from one, but how does a group have that kind of growth and continue to deliver a high-level product to, you know, these are, in a way, they're your athletes, but they're your clients, the families are your customers. How do you keep that Disney level of service in this event?
Yeah, it's honestly just our brand. I think it's more word of mouth. When the parents come here and experience this every single year.
And it skips on by into right field, so the Bolts with runners on first and third.
Oh, ball's still going.
Keeps getting loose, and a run will score. Well, you hate to have runs score like that, but the Bolts certainly will take it. just one of those situations, Amanda, where closing the book on a play is the most important thing.
Yeah, I think just recognizing when you got to squash it and take the single error, but then when you start throwing the ball around the diamond, trying to force outs, that's when you get yourself in trouble. This should just be a runner on first and third situation instead. And it looks like Briley Sinclair even thinking the play is over, and then it's not. She takes home.
So a change in the circle. We'll tell you a little bit more about that. Dan Hay having a conversation with us as we watch the work of this Mercado team. This is Layden Bruce out of Great Oak High School. She's an Ole Miss commit, so we'll finish our conversation with Dan. And the John Wayne Cancer Institute working and reaching out to the community. And I know the numbers are hundreds of thousands, but it takes your teams, it takes the community work, and it's something I know that's important to you.
Yeah, excuse me. I can't thank the teams enough this year. I really gave them a pep talk at our coaches' dinner and coaches' breakfast. And this group of teams over the last 2 weeks have raised a little under $50,000 this year. So that puts our total a little over $350,000 that we have donated to the John Wayne Cancer Institute. And Patrick Wayne, Ethan Wayne, John Wayne's sons, and Anita Wayne Swift, John Wayne's oldest granddaughter, love us. They're here and they support us, and they come speak to the kids, and we have a great partnership with them.
Final question for you, and then we'll let these athletes continue to work, is about the new recruiting rules. It's the September 1 junior year rule. It makes groups like PGF and the way you handle the athletes to come and play even more important. What are your thoughts, your role as a company that provides a platform for these athletes and the changes?
Well, because of the colleges stepping up and finally fixing what was, in my opinion, broken, because we're now back to where how Amanda got recruited, the atmosphere of the recruiting industry, and when I used to coach, it's really helped take the pressure off those 12-year-olds and those 10-year-olds and those younger kids thinking they needed to have a scholarship by the time they finish, what was it, 7th grade or whatever?
Middle school, yeah.
6th grade. There were 6th graders being recruited, and that is just absolutely crazy. But I believe next year we're really contemplating on reconfiguring our age groups and moving the 2 older groups during 1 week and the 3 younger groups another week. They're kind of split now, but that's the way it was 10 years ago. The 18s and 16s hung out together, and they were grouped because that's the group that the colleges could go talk to. And then the 14s, 12s, and 10s were in another group. So, I've got to talk to my board once all the dust settles here, and I would imagine that's probably where we're going to be moving to next year.
Share that on Twitter. That was an announcement. You folks that just watched that. This is a nice play on a very bad hop and sticking with it and doing a nice job there. Waitman hanging in there. Dan, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We really, really do.
Thank you, Amanda.
Dan Hay, the president and CEO of Premier Girls Fastpitch. And another big 2-week celebration of this sport, growth of this sport, and PGF right there with their hands on the wheel and such great leadership, and it's so much fun to be around these athletes.
I like that, though. I like the age group, that idea. I didn't even think about that, but originally it was because you're grouping the ages that are, being heavily recruited, the 14s and 16s, and it was according to the recruiting calendar and the way that it kind of turned over at the end of the summer. But now it kind of opens up a whole different ballgame.
Tweet that out. Dan Hay says, talking to board, tourney, different look next year. That's great. You can kind of have a little fun, too, and you'll still have a lot of college coaches coming out and enjoying Southern California to watch 14-year-olds play. You can sit in the stands all you want and watch 14-year-olds play. Well, opportunity for a runner. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's a natural progression. You put the 10s, 12s, 14s, let's say, together. That's kind of the identifying years. You can't talk to them, but you can identify them. You want to watch them. It's still good softball. And then that next age group are the ones that are maybe already signed or getting prepared to be talked to and committed. And you might see athletes take a different approach to which age division they play in. Ages right now, you can play up, you can play down. It'll be interesting.
Bouncing ball. That finds center field. Oh, just a swing down hard upon it approach for E.C. Clare, the Florida Gator commit. Triple threat at the plate shows you why right there.
Yep, you try to pinch her in, she'll put it by you on the infield, and we have seen a ton of this action off the dirt up the middle with those high hops today and last weekend.
The 1-0. Dips over the inside corner. Couple of runners on, 3-1 the score. Back-to-back pretty pitches. Olympic gold medalist Amanda Freed. My name is Darren Sutton. Glad you're spending time with us. Watching Shelby Lowe work against that Mercado team, that Athletcis Mercado team. And on the other end with the change, we're watching Landon Bruce work with that Ole Miss logo on her right arm. Rolled toward the hole, diving attempt, can't make the play. They'll make them make a play at the plate. Here's the throw, not in time. Down to third, not in time there as well. Another big run for the Birmingham Thunderbolts on a seeing eye ground ball. And an RBI that time for Madison Kennedy.
We haven't seen a ton of long balls, but just finding its way through the infield and then challenging on the base paths to make nice throws, to get the outs, to throw the ball around the diamond.
Maddie Majors. Spain Park High School in Hoover, Alabama. The Auburn commit. All-American, NFCA All-American this past year for these Bolts. Screwball grabbed the outside corner. That was a good one.
Yeah, Landon Bruce just kind of paints the corner. She's got a good little down ball and a good changeup. So you can see she induces a lot of ground balls. The ground balls have just found their way through the dirt.
One-two, rise ball wouldn't chase that time. Landon, mom is Amy, dad is Jeff. Younger sister is Jaden, but Landon pitches and plays inspired by her grandmother who battles ALS. He said, I like to play for those who can't. She squares up Maddie Majors without intent, hits her right in the back. Hopefully Maddie, that doesn't feel too good. She'll try and shake that off.
This hurts. This is square on the back, and it's when you kind of force yourself to take a breath. She's up and moving around, and you got to get it loosened up.
Here's that breath. She took that breath. She's okay. Visit over. Keith Dorsett coming out. We were talking about Bruce. He was saying that I do honor my grandmother and her battle with ALS. I try and pitch and play every inning like it's my last, because you never know. My grandmother's reminded me when it might not be. Of the honesty sometimes that these young athletes will share with us. Bouncing ball on the right side. The throw comes home in time. Boy, a do-or-die play at a do-or-die time in this game. Acosta went for it, and a big reward. That is a gutsy play. Easy to make the safe play.
Yep, it looked like that was going to be a run score, but Acosta just went for it, ran through with a strong throw home, and just got the out.
And Allison Greet reaches on that fielder's choice ground out. The bases remain loaded. Right off the end of the bat. Wilcox rolls that out to the right side. She is erased, but more offense. 4-1. The pride of Birmingham, Alabama on top. David Mercado pulling his crew together. Into the fourth we go. The Bolts out of Birmingham lead at 4-1. Greg Majors is one of the great members of that staff with so much success. Hey, Greg, thanks for spending a moment with us, and congratulations overall on this event. When people nationwide understand your program and you narrow it down to a couple of key sentences, help us understand. Aside from the good-looking unis, the logo, the facilities, what do the Bolts stand for overall?
Well, we work really hard in what we do. We're fortunate enough to have an organization that supports these girls and allows them to perform well on the field and off the field. It all started with Richard Shea starting this program, and we're just continuing the success that he's established.
Tell us about Shelby Lowe. Besides what we've seen, tell us about her as her coach and what she's done today so far.
Shelby Lowe you see her out there today. That girl is awesome. She has been pitching outstanding this whole tournament. She's had a great season. She has been on fire, so that's all I can say about her.
Greg, thank you so much. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Okay, thank you.
Birmingham Bolts, Greg Majors, part of that coaching staff. The assistant coach, Keith Dorsett, is head coach. By the way, they probably could have just rented a whole Airbnb community. They had 8 teams come out here at different age groups. That's a strong program, isn't it?
It's a really strong program. Yep, and they do it right. I mean, you talk to these athletes, and they just love where they are and love the culture that's created. And then they perform well.
Ansley Furbush. Just off the plate. Borden thought it was a strike, did a double pump and throwing it back. Furbush out of Seminole County in Orlando, Florida. It wears this Athletcis Mercado uniform. And her teammates fired up, 4-1, nothing. And if you're in that other dugout, 4-1 means nothing. Good pitch in on the hands, and that one is fouled off.
You see these athletes at the plate fighting to keep their hands inside and just get the barrel to the ball, but Shelby Lowe has so much spin on that curveball, spin on that rise ball. It tails up and in on the hands. That these hitters are late because it sneaks up on them and then just cannot barrel up on that ball.
3-2 pitch. And back to the screen it goes one more time. As Knight starts to move into this ballpark, it is spectacular. Beater up in the zone. Pitcher calls her off. And Lowe comes in and makes the play, calling off the catcher, Borden.
And Borden throws her hands up like, what about me? But hey, if your pitcher calls that, that's her priority. She's got a better angle, and you thank her. Good job, Shelby Lowe.
Oh, it's spoken like a true pitcher. That one is fouled off at the plate. 0-1 the count. Legendary one, by the way. Those are the words of Amanda Freed, Olympic gold medalist and All-American at UCLA. Owen won the count. Sarah Kinch. Shot. Foul. Red Oak High School, Riverside County All-Academics team. By the way, her dad Gary had a great experience a few years ago when he played in the Little League World Series. Isn't that interesting? And now his next generation is playing in a national championship as well. The stories they both can tell now. That will get better and more dramatic each and every year. The 1-2. Kinch rolled out back in the second inning. Two and two the count, no letdown in that first base dugout. It's just 3 runs here in Irvine. Well, that's a good take.
That's a real good at bat. After letting those couple in the outside corner go, when you see that one coming in a little bit and a little up, it's really tempting.
Off the plate, that's ball 4. Took a lot off. She went up, then she went soft away, and Kinch really earned that one. Pinkins Academy in Carroll, Alabama. That is where our pitcher, Shelby Lowe, plays her softball and attends high school. Looks like we have a runner. Zoe Mote will run. Number 8. Zoe Nolte, Carlsbad High School. Great track and field athlete. At first can flat out fly out there. A hurdler as well. Carlsbad High, 4.17 GPA. Thank you very much. And those wheels. Got a chase, 0-2 the count. Shelby's older sister, Whitney, who's about 7 years older. Played college softball as well, like baby sis at East Mississippi Community College. Shelby gets a chase up and out of the zone. That's a big strikeout just to start to quiet that dugout down. Love the K counter. That's 5.
Shelby's so smooth out there in the circle. I think that's why I love watching her throw. She looks so relaxed, and the ball really is deceptively quick.
Left side. Nice job sticking with it up against the gate. Hudson puts that one away. We played 3.5 innings in this national title game. The Birmingham Bolts on top, 4-1.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
4-1 the score. Hayes Mercado looking to get going and put another 0 on the board and hit one more time. David Mercado joins us down inside that first base dugout. Probably the best looking uniforms for my money, David. And if I wear one of these and I'm one of your athletes, what are some of the standards for me to put on that good looking new logo that you have and wear one of those? What are your standards, David?
Not a lot's changed. I mean, we expect the girls to grind it out, play hard, work hard, strive for perfection. That's what we do here. Whether we get it or not, obviously, we haven't got it up to this point, but we're working on it.
What are you most proud of throughout this tournament? By the way, what happened in that 1-0 win yesterday? You talk about a squeaker to sneak in, huh?
Yeah, it was a great game. Good pitching on both sides, obviously, and we came up with a couple hits in a row and got one across, and we're able to hold it. But a very good game to a very good DFW Firecracker team there.
What are Danica and Mo up to right now?
Wishing me luck. Wish they were here. It's a little easier when they're in the dugout for sure. But they're both home relaxing now and taking it easy. So.
Well, they gave me my start up here behind the microphone when they were just babies. So listen, we appreciate it. Best of luck with your journey with your program.
All right, thank you so much.
David Mercado, the head man, and building that program on his own. Look, been a long-time coach and parent, but when you take the whole thing yourself and start off on your own journey, it's a different kind of responsibility.
Oh, definitely, and he's got a high standard that he's holding his athletes to, and as he said, sometimes you're going to hit it, sometimes you're not, but if you keep striving for it more times than not, you're going to turn out some pretty successful athletes.
Yeah, I love that logo. They got creative. Somebody with a artistic background helped him out. There's no way I'm giving David credit for that, although he does have some good art on his arm there, so you never know. Big strikeout to start things. Now, Amanda, it's all about momentum, right? If you think you're going to come back, you better not give up anymore. It's about getting right back in the dugout.
Definitely, especially in this back half of the game. You want to get into the dugout, spend as much time in there as possible and on offense. And now you're just jockeying for momentum on your side.
Bry gets a chance. Briley St. Clair rolls that one. Going to be a tough play. My goodness, that speed. She's been on 3 times. She's walked twice. She's scored 2 runs, and now that single with that speed.
Yeah, your only shot at getting St. Clair on that was to have Landon Bruce make that play, but that would have been very tough, especially for Acosta when she tried to throw across her body.
Riley wants to chase what you and I do, at least on occasion what you and I do, broadcast journalism. And that's what she'd like to do. Studied at Mississippi State. And now she's studying the opposing pitcher and catcher and watching Caroline Hudson with her opportunity to move her around. Caroline, ground ball. Everybody's safe. Just ate up Waitman out there, so when you think about it, what comes into play there? Maybe again it's the speed of St. Clair putting pressure on any play at second.
That's that in-between hop that gets you usually take one more step back if possible to field it cleanly or just be super aggressive on the short hop. But you play that in between and you're likely to get an awkward bad hop.
One 1-0 the count to Hannon Borden. Just a year or 2 removed from being a high-level volleyball and basketball player as well. Shot, foul down the line. Ruth, mom, Craig, dad, in her home. Fly to right, reached on a fielder's choice, has Hannah. A bright sun about to say goodbye, but it's peeking in that left field side. Two and two the count to Hannah Borden. Birmingham Bolts, 8 teams out here. Just outside of Birmingham, Alabama, this outstanding club founded in 2005. One on a flip. No chance of turning that one over, so a big second out getting Hudson. Nice little backhand that costed a Waiton.
This is some nice fundamental fielding here. Goes through it, continues through with the flip. Almost turns the double.
E.C. Taylor, Emma Claire Taylor. Out of Tennessee. April is mom, Chris is dad. And her younger sister's a Bolts competitor as well at the U14 age group. Younger sister Neely. 0-2 the count. Every extra run feels good. Every zero for Athletcis Mercado puts him back in that dugout, a step in the right direction. 1-2 the count. A 1-0 win yesterday, semifinal victory. Both these teams undefeated, arriving here. Chased a rise ball. That's exactly what Landon wanted her to do. Landon Bruce with the 0. Looks at her teammate, says, all right, I did my part. You're up next. Allison Trochet to lead things off, trying to get things going for Athletcis Mercado. Legendary coach and multiple Hall of Fame members. Sue Enquist joins us in the broadcast booth and celebrating softball. So we're wrapping it up, right, Sue? It's been this great celebration throughout the last 2 weeks. You've been busy, you've been active here. What's your takeaway on the state of youth softball? Because this 2 weeks has been a good indicator.
First of all, to be here and see this kind of competition, the future of the sport is bright. To see the fan support, big shout out to the moms and dads. So when you have family and coaches and players that are improving their game each week, each year, our sport overall really benefits. The talent has been phenomenal this week.
Sue, you are behind and the heartbeat behind onesoftball.com. If you talk about the families and you talk about being in touch with them, since retiring as a coach, you've got closer to these families and tried to help them. What do I find if I'm a family member and a parent and I visit onesoftball.com? By the way, thanks, Amanda, for reminding me. And the app as well. Not only the website, but the app as well, onesoftball.com.
At onesoftball.com is a free website for moms and dads, coaches and players to be able to get more information around leadership, technical development, path to college. And it's an opportunity to have access to the best in the game. Our Olympians, our national champions, our college coaches, our former players are giving all of their best insight directly to the family. So it's an equal playing field. It doesn't matter who you play for, where you live. You have an opportunity to hear from the best at onesoftball.com.
Great moments, great teaching. Everyone's all in with you, and this is kind of your baby. Where'd it come from? Where'd this idea come from? I'm kind of curious. You and I have talked about it for 2 weeks now. I haven't asked you that. Where'd it come from?
After being at UCLA for 27 years, I just had this desire to really go back to the beginning of the sport and seeing if I couldn't just contribute. You know, people that are in my position, when they finish college, they're tired and they want to just get out. And for me, I was more interested in seeing if I could help those that are just entering the sport. Let's give access to the best to those that are just jumping into the game. So really what I am is just a collector of great talent that's out there and delivering that directly to our softball families.
Frida, you surprised? Are you surprised to see her do this?
Are you kidding? No, this woman
what
is
would
on
she like
the
to play
go
for?
nonstop. I love this woman. I love Sue was the best. She was the best. I mean, what you get here is what we got on the field, and the lessons run deep into my life right now.
Yeah, that same kind of passion, obviously, and a responsibility. Look, if you're a head coach and you're a parent, you've got to put in your governing body. If you're a governing body or a large softball group, there's got to be responsibility. And I think you said it best last week. You're not going to agree on everything, but put the kids first in your decisions, right?
Absolutely, and we're listen, we're not some big corporation, so we're just
not you guys. You guys are trying to pull folks together.
Absolutely, but we've got to remember this is a business for a lot of people that are running these national organizations. So what we're trying to do is just bring together the best, provide it to our families directly, and we now have a coaches app that's going to be for the coaches, and they're going to be able to deliver the content directly to their team. So if you want more information on that, at onesoftball.com/app, you can go ahead and jump in there if you're a little bit more serious about delivering that content. I just am excited about the state of the sport overall. And you know, one thing that we didn't get a chance to talk about, and I'd love to mention, is there's a lot of pressure on these student athletes. With opportunity comes pressure. And one of the things that we're going to try to tackle at onesoftball.com is health and wellness. And so we think that us bringing information to our coaches on, let's make sure that we're making these players understand that they're great people that happen to play softball. The game kicks you in the stomach, and if we can do that through great resources and be a resource for those parents and those players so they can enjoy the game, whether they win, lose, draw, they're still really good people, really great families, and that's part of our job at One Softball too.
She won't say this on the air, Amanda, but this is her deal supporting it too. So that's what I finally got that out of her on the radio. So this is her stroking checks for this. So she absolutely cares about it. We didn't talk in our earlier interview earlier today about the Olympics. I mean, this brings this group of young athletes to a wonderful time with the Olympics. Baseball, softball back.
I was a part of the sport when we first got in, and then we got out, and now we're back in. It's just an exciting time. I get excited for this generation of families that get to witness what happens when America is a part of the Olympic family, and that creates new dreams for so many of these kids out here. And many of these kids that are here at PGF are going to be future Olympians. PGF has one of the most competitive national championship formats on all levels. So we're looking at future. Some of these kids are going to be future Olympians as long as we can continue to stay in the Olympic family.
Freed, can you surf as well as Sue surfs?
No, and she's never offered to teach me either.
Well,
so
one of the reasons Frito never got that opportunity is because, she was our go-to person. So we don't want to damage the franchise, right? Whatever happened to Frito? Oh yeah, Enquist took her surfing and broke her leg. Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for that.
Great effort up against the dugout. Sue, thank you so much. We really appreciate everything.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Legendary Hall of Famer Sue Enquist as we celebrate softball. 4-1 is the score.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
What makes a Thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way, for themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
What a couple of weeks of celebration, whether it's teams from Georgia, from Chicago, Illinois, from Southern California. Memories made forever. The 9th edition of the PGF National Championship. From 10U to 18U, including the PGF High School All-American Game, the 3rd edition of the only game of its kind. We're glad you've been with us. And we go back to work. And we do so in the bottom of the 5th inning. Madison Kennedy out of Macon, Georgia. He deals with a change that tips over the outside corner. 1-1 the count.
And Bruce has done a nice job out there since entering the game of just mixing it up and throwing a nice down ball, complementing it with the changeup.
How about Madison Kennedy today? Beautiful swings, a pair of RBI singles. It's a peaceful approach, and she has had a wonderful, wonderful day.
It's going to be so fun. As an athlete, you get into situations like this, these pressure situations, and you know you can do it, you have the confidence, but just to be able to do it and execute it and do it on television and do it in front of your friends and family in a championship atmosphere.
And she'll get another chance. How does that feel? I mean, you've had that a couple of times where Lightning and Thunder came together for you, and you had those memories. How does that feel? Maybe at the end of the day when you're kind of putting your head on a pillow and you're relaxing. How does that feel to achieve like that?
I mean, it feels great, and I've had both situations where you expect to be at your best and you're not, or you expect to be at your best and you are. And
how about a 3-hit day?
That's
what you're
pretty
talking
good.
about.
That's pretty good. You can hang your hat on that for sure.
Madison Kennedy, a 3-hit day. Shannon and Terry, parents, Devin and Ashton, sisters. That's a 3-hit smile right there. That's not $1 million smile, that's a 3-hit smile. The thing about it too is she's a power hitter who likes to go to right center field, but she's handled it where it's been pitched. Maddie Majors bunts that one foul. The Auburn commit. Maddie hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. I mean, squared up. It was not a comfortable feeling right there about the ribs, the spine. Ouch. Gonna get a few votes, by the way, for 2 of the best uniforms in all this tournament at any age group, managing to make it to the championship. From the black and purple stirrups on either side to the black undersocks underneath the stirrups. The Bolts logo, spectacular. Colors bright. LeBron would actually like those colors.
I was going to say, coming from a true Laker fan?
And just a great look. And when you build your own team, right, and there's a great look at those Bolts. And you're David Mercado, and you have a brand, and you're wanting to hold on to part of that brand, the Athletix team name, but really design your own brand. That's challenging. His daughters were a big part of building the original brand and winning a bunch of championships, but it's his leadership now, and I think they did a great job. So some uniform celebration today. I told you, see, it might be him. There's some art on that arm. He might have done it.
Could be.
2-2 the count.
That last pitch was awfully close. I like that pitch.
Changeup, I like that one. Changeup on a time when hitters look to be aggressive. That's a spectacular pitch.
You know, and you don't want to take advantage of that last hit by a pitch at bat, but coming in tight that previous pitch and then coming right back with the changeup.
Allison Crete into center field. Diving play! Malia Benson leaves her feet. And a spectacular grab.
And these are the ones that are tough to read. Right back up the middle. Do you go for it or do you get it on the long hop? As she goes for it, Benson lays out, makes a spectacular catch.
Love that effort, the pride of Riverside Pauley. All out in center field and just turned it loose. Benson with a great grab. Fly ball, center field. That one's easy as she puts that one away. By the sea, by the surf here on the Pacific, 4-1 is our score. It's getting late on the team that's much closer to home, Athletcis Mercado, the PGF 16U Premier National Title Game. The only game of its kind last week, the PGF High School All-American game, the 3rd annual. There will be a 4th, there will be a 5th, nothing like it. And a true party and celebration of the sport of softball in this ballpark that night under the lights. Unforgettable. Trying to dump one in center field, racing and running it down, Briley St. Clair. First out, put in the books, Jessica Acosta, as it gets a little bit later in the top half of inning number 6. If you're these talented young women from Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, wherever you may be, you're counting down outs. You're 5 away from a title. Acosta gives way to Alex Waitman, the Oklahoma commit, ranked 5th. Flow softball's Hot 100. Great track athlete at Crossings Christian, and her race, the 200. A little bit of a longer stride, the 4x1 as well. She runs anchor in that event. That one misses outside. Chases up and away, big strikeout, 2 outs in the inning.
The way that Shelby Lowe has been dealing, especially with that rise ball, that cuts up and away from a lefty, but she's making it difficult for even the best to get a piece of. And she comes with that changeup. It's almost unfair.
7 strikeouts. Ansley Furbush. And she backs off in the count. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Cutie taking this one in. There's that rise ball, no bite that time. Is there room? You bet there's room. 3 outs to go and looking to add on the final national title game of 2018, the 16U Premier. Birmingham strong.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
No matter the age of the girls I train, you can always tell the ones that may go far. It's in their eyes. It's in their focus. They know it doesn't need to be pretty or perfect. Growth will come. You can see when they own that. When they decide that getting better is more important than their fear of failing. That's when their game changes. That's when everything changes. That's when these girls become unstoppable.
These are the moments as the sun sets on Southern California and this great event in 2018. 4-1 the score. Ale McConaughey digs in to start things off. The lights have not taken full effect, but that bat has. He rolls that one into center field. Started the night with the double. What may be her final at bat of this title game is a single. Carly is 2 for 4. In front of Briley St. Clair. Amy and Bert, mom and dad. Tried to take it with her, comes up empty, 0-1 the count.
That left side of the infield is really pinched in tight. I mean, Waitman pulled over into that 5-6 hole. Acosta playing more up the middle to cover for the steal. Trochet playing back.
Tag, throw, not in time. Cleaning things up with the lead runner. Nice heads-up play by Jess Acosta, though.
That's a great heads-up play because Waitman had a long way to run to go cover, so she's still on the way. The tag's applied and then tries for the double. But St. Clair's got way too much speed.
Caroline Hudson takes off the plate. 1-0 the count. Maybe remember her dad, John, great football player, played at Auburn University, then a Super Bowl champion with the Ravens, played in the NFL with the Eagles and the Jets as well. Tough changeup to deal with. Landon Bruce has been quite a steadying force since she's come into the circle. Ole Miss excited, I'm sure, about her arrival in a couple of years. Up, got her to chase out over the plate. Second out of the inning. In front of Hannah Borden now. Hannah reached and scored back in the third inning on a fielder's choice, got on another time and flied to right field. Diving effort, great effort, leaving her feet. Acosta, who made a nice heads-up play a moment ago.
Yeah, Acosta's all over the field. Going into the outfield and nearly making that grab.
So much great softball for a pair of weeks out here as that one is outside. 1-1 the count. Anna heads back to school and keeps her standards high at National Honor Society member. Working with special needs students during big high school events for inclusion. at Trussville High School. Change up on her 2-2. Good off-speed stuff.
That's been the big difference maker for Landon Bruce out there today in the circle. Her ability to throw that pitch for a strike.
And tries to get a chase with that pitch. 3-2 the count. Lost her. Ball 4 on a walk. So Borden is on. And E.C. Taylor gets a chance. Looks like we may have a runner head out. That's exactly what we have. Abigail Dorsett for the second time is called upon to run. Stabs at that one, bunts right through it. Abigail's dad, Keith, the head coach of this team, sister Hannah and Maddie. Mom is Emily as she runs out there at first. EC slaps that one the other way, and it's foul and down.
This Bolts team with 2 outs. The base runners are going to be off on the swing, looking to take 2 bases. Would love to get another insurance run before heading into the 7th.
That was a great shot.
Slowing the game down.
Two and two the count. Inside corner, froze her, and a tip of the cap to Landon Bruce. The Bolts from Birmingham, 3 outs away from a title. Shelby Lowe has been so strong for these Thunderbolts. She hopes her final 3 outs are her strongest.
She's been so much fun to watch, just watching her spin the ball and mixing her changeup from time to time, but it's been that rise ball down and in on the inside corner to the righties that have induced a lot of miss hits. And then she's not afraid to bring it right back through the zone.
She got those 7 strikeouts. Uncomfortable swing. In tight. Sarah Kinch leads it off.
It's really what it's been all night, is uncomfortably on that inside part of the plate. You try to get your hands through, try to get the barrel there. But just when you think you've got it, it spins right off.
That one is high. Low, the Auburn commit. The 20 grad. Shelby's been so good as that one sails up and inside. Madonna is her mom, Freddie is her dad. Lifted left field, racing, 1 away. Allison Crete with the play out there. Crete, a great story in her own right. She runs this one down. a 4.0 student, that left fielder, a West Point commit, and a 34 on her ACT.
It's pretty good.
That's crazy. That's the left fielder
She
for
must
the
just
Bolts
be
team.
a good test taker.
Okay. 2019 grad, 4.0 GPA, that left fielder. Rocky Bayou High School. Wanted to make sure I mentioned that before the night ended. .34. West Point lucky to have her coming. Good for her. One and two the count. All eyes on Shelby Lowe. The at-bat rolls on for Caitlin Dunkel. And to finish strong in what may be her final at bat. And a good take, 2-2 the count. And the daughter of Bill and Christy, she says, Caitlin, my mom's so important in my life. Great role model. Constantly testing her patience, by the way, my sister and I are, and she stays with us. 2-2, popped up. Ball is the call from E.C. Taylor. 1 out away from bringing this trophy back to the Deep South. Michaela Jordan, the San Diego State commit, singled and scored, popped to third. 1-0 the count.
And they're gonna make Shelby Lowe work for it. That pitch just missing on the outside corner.
Got the cowboy hats on, have the Bolts gear on. This program's so represented in Southern California with 8 overall teams. Right in on her hands, roll to the right side, and that'll do it. The Bolts are champs. Birmingham, Alabama, they're coming home with some hardware as the Bolts are the 2018 16U Premier Girls Fastpitch Premier National Champions. Just more growth for this squad, Athletcis Mercado. Some tears that will come along with it. An incredible tournament. So many great athletes on this team, including the way Landon Bruce pitched in the circle a majority of the second half of the game.
Yeah, you can't get upset for getting to this point and putting up the fight that you did. And you just have to look forward to the growth and what you learned and coming back next year and finishing strong again. But Landon Bruce in the circle coming up strong. The hitters putting up a good fight as well. But when you get down to this, it's one team that can come away, and the Thunderbolts really, they have had an incredible summer, some ups, some downs, but this team has pulled together. They've gotten it done. They've done it all summer long and definitely deserve this honor.
Yeah, you talk about the ups and downs, and certainly I'm sure there is some thoughts, honoring, and prayers for those that have fallen, those that wore their uniform. We'll honor them when we come back and we wrap this thing up. Congratulations to the Birmingham Thunderbolts. They come to California. They rock and roll.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
A building is only as strong as the foundation it's built upon. That's why family-owned Morris Shea has been providing deep foundation and earth retention systems throughout the United States and the Caribbean since 1969. From heavy industrial projects to bridges, schools, sports stadiums, and government buildings, we have the technical expertise to handle even the most geologically and environmentally challenging sites. Because at Morris Shea, we know there's nothing more important than a strong foundation. Visit us at morrisshea.com to see how we can help support your next project.
What makes a Thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way, for themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
Here's what stands out for me, Amanda Freed, over these 2 weeks of softball. We know they're great players. You don't get here without being a great player the last 2 weeks. It's the great grades. It's the work in the classroom. It's the working with special needs students. It's the thanking your parents. It's this generation of softball player has the future of this sport in really good hands.
I couldn't agree more with you. Just the maturity of what has been on the field. The game speaks for itself. There is no better talent than we have seen in the last couple of weeks, but the athletes, the players, the way that they praise their parents, the way they keep the game in perspective and are still able to perform and balance life and school, and it's incredible to see how mature these ladies are at this young age.
The hardware this time goes back to Birmingham, Alabama. So much to be proud of for this program that sent 8 teams out here. And what a great couple of weeks it has been. Started early on with the dancing and celebrations at the opening ceremonies. The legends of the sport, Tapua, the great Tahitian dancers, forever in your mind on the stage at Huntington Beach, and then day after day in Fountain Valley and Huntington Beach. Here at Bill Barber Park in Irvine, grinding an elite softball. And then those titles, those memories, those hugs, and on the other side, those tears and those lessons learned. It's all been another incredible year. We're excited about year number 10 coming up in 2019 of the PGF National Championship. Some great things coming in the future regionally for this sport. Go find it. Visit Premier Girls Fastpitch online. She's Amanda Freed. My name is Darren Sutton. And until next time, it's been an honor. Congratulations, women. We'll see you next time at the ballpark.